Hey everybody, in this video we're going to repair a guitar cable that isn't working. I'm sure a lot of you have cables around that need repair, so in this video we're going to go through a simple test procedure and then repair it right here on the Fuzzlord Effects bench. So if that sounds interesting to you, please stick around and watch this video. I'm Jason with Fuzzlord Effects, and on this channel we do gear demos and tech talks made specifically for folks interested in doom metal and stoner rock music. So if you're interested in that kind of thing, be sure you stick around and watch this video. And of course, subscribe to the channel because we put out a video every week. Eric Merrow does all the filming and editing for us here. So if you're interested to know more about the person making these videos, head on over to his page and check him out. You can keep up with me on a daily at Fuzzlord Effects on Instagram, or head on over to fuzzlordeffects.com. So I think we've all had guitar cables that have stopped working on us, and I will admit that I have done the classic thing where I threw it in a box and then I went down to Guitar Center and bought a new cable. So in this video we're going to be talking about how to test and repair your cable that has stopped working. This cable is Eric Merrow's cable, and we were hanging out checking out some pedals and he plugged it in, and of course it stopped working. So I was excited because we needed a cable to use for this video. I want to make videos that are helpful for you. So in this video we're going to do two things. I'm going to show you how to test your cable that isn't working right. There's two wires in a guitar cable, so it's really easy to figure out which of the two wires is broken. We're going to then repair the cable, and then we're going to plug it in, hit a chord, make sure it works, and then wrap up this video. So the main tool that we need to test the cable is going to be a multimeter. A lot of multimeters have a continuity test mode. This one makes a beep sound when we have continuity. If you don't have that mode on your multimeter, you can always use a resistance test and put it at the lowest setting. If we look at the screen here, when we have an open circuit, it'll say 1, as in like infinite resistance. When we touch the two leads together, it should basically say 0. So in this video, to make it easy, I'm going to be using the beep setting. So we know that when we make a connection with these two leads, it should beep, and then when there's no connection, it won't beep. So on a guitar cable, there's two conductors in a guitar cable. The sleeve right here, the bigger part, is the ground. The tip, you can see there's a little rubber grommet that separates the two conductors. The tip is the signal. So again, this is the ground, this is the tip or the signal of the guitar. What we're going to do is use the continuity test of our multimeter to see which of the two wires is broken. It could be the tip or it could be the sleeve. So we're going to test the ground first. We're going to take one lead from our multimeter and touch it against the ground, and then touch it against the ground of the other end of the cable. If there's a connection, we'll hear a beep. So what this tells us is that our ground connection of this cable is actually good. So I would assume that it's the tip or the signal that is broken. So let's test the other conductor, which is the tip, which is the signal from the guitar. So we have no beep. And I'm assuming if we wiggle the wires around, we might get it to make a connection. But essentially, we're getting no continuity between the two ends of the cable, and it's telling us that the tip or the signal wire is broken. So now what we're going to do, now that we know that, is we're going to open up the two ends of the cables. Let's check out this one first. This is the ground connection, this longer piece here, and that's connected. And this is the tip or the signal, which is the conductor in question. If we look there, the solder joint looks good and the wire's connected. So this side is fine. Let's look at the other side. So if we look here, we can see that the ground wire is fine, but we already tested the ground wire and it was working fine. And then when we're looking at the tip or the signal, it looks okay, but check this out. It's actually broken. See that? What happens is we bend the cables or something and we step on them and it snaps that wire. So this wire here is actually disconnected here. So we're gonna heat up the soldering iron and we're going to fix that really quick. Now, the hardest part about this job is a lot of times what we would have to do is desolder the ground also so we could move that wire forward because it's actually broken. But today I want to show you all a very quick and easy way to do this. Essentially, we just want those two wires to connect again, and it's a little too short. So what I'm thinking is that we could take a little piece of wire, like some solid core wire, but I'm gonna take the lead from a resistor. You could use the lead from a resistor, a capacitor, or anything similar, or again, a piece of wire. But what I wanna do is I stripped that wire back just a hair, and I want to stick in a little extension wire through the old solder connection and then resolder it. So we're gonna tin the tip of our soldering iron. I'm just gonna heat up this connection. Let's remove the old wire. All right, so we have the old little piece of broken wire removed from the actual connection of the tip from the... So let's put in our little bit of extension wire. See how I did that? So I'm going to give that a good solder connection, right? So now we have a little extension wire. Gonna clip that. We're kind of gonna get that as close in to the old wire as possible. See that? Easy. And I really do appreciate you taking the time to watch these videos and hang out on the Fuzzlord Effects YouTube channel. For those that you don't know, I run an Instagram page called @FuzzlordEffects, and you can always go keep track of what I'm doing on a daily there and keep up with new pedals. So, getting back to this repair, we put in a little extension wire from the tip connector from our cable, and it's basically touching the broken wire from our cable. And I'm just gonna tin my solder iron. I'm gonna heat up the wire from the bottom and I'm gonna put the solder on from the top. You see that, y'all? If you heat up the connection from one side and touch the solder into the other, that makes sure you don't have a cold solder joint versus heating it up against the iron and then just dumping it on. So again, we heated up the bottom of the solder connection, put the solder on the top, we flowed a nice solder joint, and if we look there now our signal wire is reconnected to the tip connection of the guitar cable. So we can take our same multimeter test again, touch against the tip of one end of the cable and the tip of the other end, and now we have a connection. So that is as simple as that. Sleeve, see, there's usually a little rubber sleeve that covers up the connection so that we don't ground out against this outside metal sleeve of the guitar cable. So let's get that back on there. Let's just test this to make sure that, again, do both of our grounds have a connection? Yes. Do both of the tips or the signal have a connection? Yes. So let's do the fun test, and we're gonna plug in a guitar, play a riff, and thank you for watching this video. Let's do a little sound test, and as always, be sure you subscribe to the channel. We put out a weekly video, and hit up the @Fuzzlord Effects Instagram page for daily content. I do appreciate you taking the time to watch this video. Why don't you leave me a comment below and let me know where you're watching from. Give me some ideas for future videos, and have you seen the new Fuzzlord Effects FU2 promo, which is a couple videos back. Again, that was filmed and edited by Eric Merrow, who does all of the production on this channel. I'm gonna leave a link for you to check out what he does.